วัสดีค่ะ
Sawadee-krap.
I am Chana Rotjan.
And I'm Jenny Vashuk. We would like to welcome you all to our Meditation for Peace program. The program that we will encourage you to journey life within, to find real true peace. And how are you, Kunchana? How do you feel yourself?
Well, I haven't been feeling so well lately.
Mm.
Just got sick because of the change in the weather.
I
Can you
see.
tell by my voice? It's
I
kind of
hope-
husky. But how about you?
I hope you will feel yourself better after you meditate.
Well,
huh?
hopefully.
Thank you. I'm okay. And last week I tried to meditate more, so it's make me feel wonderful, really.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I want to experience the same thing. But now let us not waste any more time. Shall we just go ahead and meditate?
Sure. Okay. With the compassion and kindness of the most venerable Lompo Tamachio, the abbot of Wat Patamakaya, who will teach us the very natural and simple method of meditation, let's find your comfortable corners and get your mind ready.
ต่อจากนี้ไปตั้งใจให้แน่แน่วมุ่งตรงถนทางพระนิพพานกันทุกคนนะลูกนะให้นั่งขัดสมาธิโดยเอาขาขวาทับขาซ้ายมือขวาทับมือซ้ายให้นิ้วชี้ของมือข้างขวาจรดนิ้วหัวแม่มือข้างซ้ายวางไว้บนหน้าตักพอสบายหลับตาของเราเบาๆค่อนลูกพอสบายคล้ายๆกับตอนที่เราใกล้จะหลับอย่าไปบีบเปลือกตาอย่ากดลูกในตานะจ๊ะแล้วก็ทำใจของเราให้เบิกบานให้แจ่มชื่นให้สะอาดบริสุทธิ์ผ่องใสไร้กังวลในทุกสิ่งไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องอะไรก็ตามให้ปลดให้ปล่อยให้วางทำใจให้ว่างแต่บางท่านยังทำไม่ได้ก็ได้เริ่มวางใจณจุดที่เรามีความรู้สึกว่าสบายไปก่อนซึ่งจะเป็นตรงไหนก็ได้โดยไม่คำนึงถึงฐานที่7แล้วก็เริ่มรู้สึกว่ามันสบายเริ่มรู้สึกว่ามันง่ายความสุขที่ได้จากสมาธิเราก็ค่อยๆได้สัมผัสคือเริ่มรู้สึกว่าตัวที่ทึบๆหนาๆเนี่ยมันเริ่มโปร่งเริ่มโล่งเริ่มว่างๆเริ่มเคว้งคว้างละเหมือนอยู่กลางอวกาศบางท่านตัวหายไปเลยเหมือนไม่มีตัวมีแต่ความรู้สึกของใจบางคนก็ไม่รู้ว่าจะทำอย่างไรเมื่อเจอภาวะโล่งๆว่างๆตัวหายไปสิ่งที่ควรจะต้องทำคือใจสบายอยู่ตรงไหนก็เอาตรงนั้นแหละไปก่อนแล้วพอมันถูกส่วนสมบูรณ์ 100% แล้วเนี่ยเราค่อยนึกน้อมกลับเข้ามาหรือจะมีเครื่องหมายที่ใสๆและขนาดปลายเข็มก็มีขนาดดวงดาวในอากาศก็มี จะปรากฏเกิดขึ้นตรงที่ใจเราหยุดนิ่งเราก็จับภาพนั้นคือดูไปเฉยๆดูเผลอๆอย่าถึงกับจ้องนะจ๊ะคือจะว่าดูก็ไม่เชิงจะว่าไม่ดูก็ไม่ใช่มันอยู่ระหว่างกลางๆถ้าหากเราดูเป็นคืออยู่ระหว่างกลางจริงๆจุดใสๆนั้นมันจะนิ่งแต่ถ้าเราตั้งใจมากเกินไปมันจะหายแต่ถ้าเผลอก็หายอีกเหมือนกันจ้องก็ไม่ได้จ้องก็หายเผลอก็หายไอ้ตรงความพอดีตรงนี้แหละเราต้องทำให้ได้ด้วยวิธีคือนิ่งเฉยๆไม่ต้องทำอะไรไม่ต้องตั้งคำถามในใจไม่มีข้อสงสัยใดๆทั้งสิ้นเหมือนตัวเราเป็นหุ่นยนต์ที่ไม่มีมันสมองคิดไม่เป็นหรือไม่มีความคิดไม่เป็นหรือไม่มีความคิดต้องทำอย่างนี้นะลูกนะคิดไม่เป็นเนี่ยใช้ได้ตลอดเลยเพราะว่าการศึกษาความรู้ภายในนั้นน่ะมันเลยขั้นระบบของความคิดมันไม่ต้องใช้ความคิดเลยมันเป็นความรู้ที่เกิดจากความไม่คิดคือจิตมันหยุดนิ่งบริสุทธิ์แล้วก็สว่างแล้วก็เห็นแล้วก็รู้มันอย่างนี้นะจ๊ะมันแตกต่างจากที่เราเคยเรียนรู้มาต้องฟังต้องอ่านต้องคิดต้องเขียนแต่นี่มันไม่ใช่มันเป็นความรู้ที่เกิดจากหยุดกันนิ่งที่คิดไม่เป็นไม่มีความคิดเลยใจมันจะปลอดความคิดจิตมันจะหยุดนิ่งๆความรู้อย่างนี้เขาเรียกว่าภาวนามยปัญญาความรู้ที่เกิดจากหยุดกันนิ่งแล้วก็สว่างเห็นแล้วก็รู้นี่เราต้องเข้าใจขบวนการตรงนี้ซะก่อนอย่าทิ้งคำนี้นะถ้านิ่งอย่างลำบากรู้สึกอึดอัดคับแคบไม่มีความสุขมันไม่สบายเลยทั้งร่างกายและจิตใจไม่ใช่แล้วอย่าดันทุลังดำต่อให้ค่อยๆผ่อนมากคลี่คลายระบบประสาทกล้ามเนื้อค่อยๆคลายพอเรานึกคลายจิตมันก็จะคลายตัวพอคลายตัวก็สู่ภาวะโล่งๆว่างๆนิ่งใหม่ก็ต้องฝึกกันอย่างนี้แหละฝึกให้ได้แล้วเดี๋ยวเราก็เห็นดวงใสๆมันจะสว่างนั่งแล้วหลับตาแล้วมันไม่มืดเห็นดวงใสๆแล้วก็ดูไปเรื่อยๆนิ่งถูกส่วนมันจะขยายแล้วก็เราก็จะถูกดึงดูดเข้าไปข้างในทั้งดึงทั้งดูดเลยเหมือนมีแม่เหล็กยักษ์อยู่ข้างในนะเป็นแม่เหล็กโลกดูดเข้าไปบางคนก็ตกใจหวาดเสียวเพราะไม่รู้มันอะไรไม่เคยเจอต้องตามใจนะลูกนะอย่าไปฝืนใจอย่าไปฝืนความรู้สึกอย่างนั้นปล่อยไปทำเฉยๆเนี่ยปล่อยคือทำเฉยๆไม่ใช่ดันนะจำนะลูกนะต้องจำนะคือทำเฉยๆเนี่ยเฉยอย่างเดียวแล้วมันจะเป็นของมันไปเอง ห็นไหมจ๊ะว่าการศึกษาความรู้ภายในเนี่ยมันไม่ได้ยากครับถ้าเรารู้จักเข้าใจแล้วก็วางใจเป็นรู้ขั้นตอนของประสบการณ์ภายในเดี๋ยวเราจะทำได้ทำเป็นกันทุกคนนั่นแหละแต่ก่อนอื่นลูกจะต้องมีความเชื่อมั่นในตัวเองว่าคนอย่างเราเนี่ยทำได้ขอให้รู้วิธีการนั้นแหละที่ถูกต้องเดี๋ยวเราจะทำให้มันถูกต้องและเราก็ทำได้ต้องมีความเชื่อมั่นตรงนี้ก่อนนะลูกนะอย่าไปมัวสงสัยลังเลว่าเราจะทำได้ไหมนะคนอย่างเราคนอย่างเรานี่กิเลสหนาปัญญาหยาบเนี่ยผ่านชีวิตมาก็หมองมาซะทั้งเยอะจะทำได้ไหมนะเลิกคิดนะลูกนะความคิดชนิดนี้อย่าให้มีในลูกพลาดอย่าให้มีในนักเรียนอนุบาลฝันในฝันวิทยาถ้าเราไม่มั่นใจในตัวเราแล้วเนี่ยเราจะไปทำอะไรได้หลับตาอ้าปากตักอาหารเรามั่นใจยังตักเข้าปากได้เลยนะหลับตาเนี่ยเอานี้จิ้มรูจมูกเรายังจิ้มได้ยังถูกต้องนะเพราะฉะนั้นเราก็ต้องมั่นใจว่าเราต้องทำได้เพราะเรารู้วิธีการแล้วเนี่ยซึ่งก็บอกไปหมดแล้วไม่ได้มีอะไรปิดบังเลยเนี่ยเราก็ต้องฝึกฝนฝึกไปเรื่อยๆต้องรักอย่างหลงไหลนะฝึกไปนั่งฝึกยืนฝึกเดินฝึกนอนฝึกมีเวลาว่างเป็นฝึกไปเพราะนี่คือวิชาของชีวิตนะลูกนะวิชาที่สำคัญที่สุดของชีวิตเราจะเรียนจบด็อกเตอร์กี่คะแนนก็แล้วแต่มันก็เป็นไปเพื่อให้ได้ปัจจัยสี่มาหรือให้ได้รับความยกย่องนับถือเชื่อถือเป็นเครดิตในทางสังคมเท่านั้นแหละแต่เวลาใกล้จะละโลกเนี่ยมันเอามาช่วยชีวิตไม่ได้นะที่จะไปสู่ปรโลกนะลูกนะสิ่งที่เรากำลังเรียนรู้นี่แหละเรื่องหยุดเรื่องนิ่งนี่แหละจะเป็นสิ่งที่สำคัญที่สุดเป็นวิชาของชีวิตที่แท้จริงเพราะฉะนั้นต้องขยันฝึกฝนอยู่ในห้องน้ำก็ฝึกได้จะขับถ่ายก็ฝึกได้ไม่บาปฝึกบนโถนั่นแหละจะล้างหน้าแปรงฟันแล้วก็ฝึกได้จะอาบน้ำอาบท่าก็ฝึกได้ล้างถ้วยล้างจานล้างชามปาดกวาดบ้านฝึกได้ตรงไหนเราก็ฝึกได้นั่งนอนยืนเดินเพราะเรารู้หลักอยู่แล้วเนี่ยสติสบายสม่ำเสมอหยุดเป็นตัวสำเร็จวางเบาๆใจสบายๆเห็นไหมจ๊ะเรารู้หลักวิชากันแล้วไม่ใช่ว่าเราไม่เรียนรู้นะจะนึกเป็นภาพก็ได้หรือจะไม่นึกเป็นภาพเป็นดวงก็ได้องค์พระก็ได้หลวงปู่คุณยายก็ได้ผลหมากรากไม้เพชรนินจินดาได้ทั้งนั้นยกเว้นภาพที่นึกแล้วใจตกต่ำแต่ถ้านึกแล้วใจสูงส่งบริสุทธิ์นึกได้เห็นไหมเจ้าว่าเรารู้นะเรื่องหลักวิชาแล้ววิธีนึกก็สอนหมดแล้วนะให้เบาๆสบายๆมีสิ่งที่ดีๆอีกเยอะ นับไม่ถ้วนอย่าง เมื่อเราได้เข้าถึงพระรัตนตรัยในตัว นั่งให้ดีนะลูกนะ ใครเหนื่อยใครง่วง ใครเพลียใครนั่งแล้วตึงก็ปล่อยให้มันหลับไปในกลางพอสดชื่นแล้วก็ตื่นมาทำใหม่ ใครเมื่อยก็ขยับฟุ้งก็ลืมตาแล้วก็ว่ากันใหม่ ให้ลูกทุกคนสมหวังดังใจในการเข้าถึงพระรัตนตรัยในตัวทุกคนนะลูกนะต่างคนต่างนั่งกันไปเงียบๆนะจ๊ะ
You know, I would not trade the wonderful feeling I get from meditation for anything else in the world.
Yes, it is a wonderful feeling, you know. Besides that, it's helped us to find about ourselves more deeper and more real understanding.
Yeah, that's true. Because sometimes we think we know ourselves very well,
Yeah.
but it's only superficially, just on the outside. Meditation really helps us to find our truer selves.
More importantly, then we find peace in our mind. We always feel like sharing it with others. I recognize that is the first step toward world peace.
That's right. It sounds as easy as it may be, only when everyone meditates together.
Yes, if everyone's mind stops from wandering around, the still mind will become pure and spread radiance of loving kindness to others.
Imagine what the world would be like when that happens. But for now, we have a good thing to share with you, our dear viewers. We're going to be introducing you to someone who has contributed so much to world peace.
Let's welcome our guest, Venerable Sana, President of Korea's People Sharing Happiness, who has kindly shared his experience with us since last week.
Okay, it's Dhamma is not a boring thing. Dhamma is very
is here in
interesting.
this place. Interesting thing. No?
Yes, and most of them, I think, like that. Most of them we very enjoy to join the program. Then, how many percent of the youth in Korea join this program? Do you have any number, just roughly?
So 5 to 7 like that, small group.
You
know?
mean that by
Yeah.
age?
No.
Of
Group.
people.
Yeah, people, small group.
Yes.
And same condition. That means, same age, same generation, all like that. So sometimes this is for, elementary school student, but just small numbers. And it takes around, around 1.5 years to finish this course, I've got, 5 steps to, finish this one. So 1.5 years later, they've changed a lot. They've changed. So they understood the life itself. And also, they know I'm really, really important, and others are also important. And also, what we have to do is to change the society. And if we try to change this society, our culture would be changed a lot. That is kind of a structure. So I need, big club, kind of program. But maybe later I'll make that one. But until now, I made small group. That one. But for over 20 years, I have been doing that one until now. So around 1,000 people already graduated this course, And maybe in the near future, I'll give, some more great, programs for more youth members.
Okay, this is just for the youth, the younger generation. The parents haven't come in the program yet, but they support the children. Okay, but they're not in the program yet, right?
But I think I have to, educate, youth members and also, teachers. I think in here, in Dhammakaya Foundation, they already, got the program like that. I think program for teachers, That means teachers can teach youth members. So if I teach, teachers, and then they'll teach youth members. Not in my temple, in the society. I think that's better. That's really great idea. I think so.
Okay, and because you just mentioned that in Dhammakaya Foundation they have this program because they give information, the good information to the teacher, and they have the teacher training, and after that the teacher will take the good information, good things, and to teach the children, right? And how about the parents? What do you think? You have any idea for that?
Program for parents, we call this one, parents teaching program, and teachers, and also one more thing is relatives, even in special places. That means in prison or in maybe difficult areas, So I think this is a next plan. Nowadays I'm teaching parents. Parents is really, really important, because if they change their mind, their children easily change their minds. So nowadays I'm focusing on the parents and youth members. So next step is, I said before, teachers club and teachers group.
Okay. Now you're teaching youth, and second you're teaching the parents, and next step is the teacher. It's like 6 directions, but from the Lord Buddha.
Of course. I think that's why I envy Dhammakaya Foundation, because you got plenty of really great ideas already. I have been doing lots of things based on the Buddhist text, but you already did that. So that's why Vice President of Dhammakaya Foundation, he also suggested share the idea, Korea and also Thailand, like that, especially Dhammakaya Foundation.
Yes, I think a great thing will come once we join hands, developing the Dhamma in people's heart.
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
And you are the young generation of monks who, let's say, devoted yourself in spreading the Lord Buddha teaching. It's wonderful thing. Now, so many of the young monks who want to do that, and now with your experience with more than 20 years right now, so you doing this all along 20 years?
Of course. In Korea, joining the army is mandatory.
Yes.
Mandatory system. We got mandatory system, and not like other countries. So that time I joined the army as a chaplain. Do you know chaplain? Chaplain is the Buddhist monk who is in the army, But our job is to teach Buddha's teaching to soldiers and even officers like that. So I got really great experience in the army.
Yes.
At that time I visited lots of places to teach young soldiers. They are suffer really, really, terrible suffering, because they didn't want to join the army. But in Korea we got mandatory system, so that's why they just maintain their lives, just breathing in and out, staying in the army, in the base. So that time I just listened to their saying. listen to their saying, and sometimes gave the Dhamma. For example, somebody asked like this, Venerable, I want to die. I don't want to be here in this place. This is terrible army base. How can I endure these kinds of suffering? Then I replied like this, what do you need? What do you really need? Getting out of this one, getting out of suffering, that is best way, like that. Then he was really, really impressed. Getting out of this place is not the best way. What I want is, I want to be free. So he got, kind of enlightened. I want to be free. So he became, Buddhist, real Buddhist, youth Buddhist member.
Oh, and how many years you have to serve the army in Korea?
Yes, even monk, even monk, they have to join the army. Usually 3 years, but in my case, around 10 years, I joined that one.
Okay, because normally for every man, you have to join the army at least 3 years.
Yes, 3 years.
But in your case, because you choose 10 years, because you choose to do it.
Of course,
is that right?
Of course. Because mandatory period was, around 4 years, Yes. But I really, really love to, spread Buddhism in the army. Yes. So that's why, I extended, 6 more years. I served like that. But that time, I met lots of really great soldiers. They are in suffering. I also, I try to give Dhamma to them, Dhamma to them, because they are in suffering. They need someone, who rip out all suffering.
Yes.
That was me. I thought that time.
Okay, and just only that Dhamma teaching that you give it to them. Anything else that you give it to them?
Of course.
To take away their suffering?
I think that time I prepared lots of programs for soldiers. Based on that kind of programs, until now, I can maintain really great schools and also really great programs. So that time, they just wear. They were, uniform, but their mind over and out of that uniform, So that's why, I made, how to not endure, how to, develop themselves even in the army. That was the major topic to develop the class, and program that time. So that's why, I wrote lots of psychological books even though, and also I added some more, great programs, from the even hospital, So, and then finally the soldiers could, get out of the suffering in the period.
So in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And because you were mentioned that you've been giving Dhamma teaching like this to the youth too, and also meditation, which you call saying. And how about meditation? Do you use that one in the army too?
Oh, of course. I think they've got gun,
Yes.
They are with gun. That means, they can kill themselves or others, but mostly, kill themselves. So then how can I help them? I was thinking, continually. I have been thinking that one. How can I help them? How can I help them? How can I help them? The conclusion was really, really simple. Just be there with them. Because I'm Buddhist monk. That means, I did meditation. So doing meditation means, developing our inner power. Power is here and coming out and spreading. That is effect. So if somebody entered to this area, they started to change themselves. That was kind of my belief, So I started doing meditation continually, and many youth members in the army get into this area and they started to change themselves. That was really great experience. That is the power of meditation. Meditation is just not for me. That's for everybody, every being. Anywhere, anytime, it's okay. Even in the worst situation, this is just my idea, Soldiers, they can be safe if somebody are doing meditation in that place.
So they can have the right thinking what to do, not to do. Sorry. And this is you used to do to teach. Used to teach the people in the young one in the army. How about now? Are you still doing that?
Nowadays, I'm teaching just youth people, especially teenagers. I really, really love to carry them because they are our future, especially in Korea. There are lots of youth members in Christianity. So we have to do something. So that's why I thought this is my duty, this is my responsibility to raise them as a really great, youth members in Buddhism. So that's why, I prepare lots of programs for youth members, and also I endeavor, I do, I spend my energy for teenagers, and also I give more things, and I give everything to them. I think that's what I want to do.
Shana, I feel it's like a torment if our mind cannot find the real peace.
I think we should really rejoice in the merit of Venerable Sana, because he did a remarkable job helping those soldiers out of the dark corners of their minds.
Yeah. 10 years that he has saved those soldiers from hurting themselves by teaching them to meditate has proved the case that meditation is solution to every life's problems.
And do you agree with me that his project is really worthwhile supporting?
Yeah, if you need to make a contribution to this project, we are more than happy to be a middleman. But now, Chana, can I hear Tama talk to quench my soul?
As you wish, Jenya. Venerable Brother Nicholas Tanitsaro will continue last week's topic concerning the Akanya Sutta.
From there, because of the discrimination in the mind, the environment started to change further, so that the staple food available to those beings became more coarse, became less subtle than it had been before. You might think that eating earth is quite a pretty rough way of surviving, but in fact that earth contained within it all the nutrition which was necessary for a person to support themselves. Now, instead of these curds of earth being available, now what was left was something more similar to mushrooms. Okay, mushrooms, but again providing all the nutrition necessary. Later, the arrogance or conceit of those who had more brightness left within them increased further. And because some had eaten more and more of this coarse food, the bodies became heavy, weighed down by the weight of the food, so they were unable to fly away from the earth even if they wanted to. And as a result of that, the greed, the discrimination, the arrogance, then the environment changed further so that even the mushrooms disappeared, and what was left was in fact something more like creepers on the earth, creepers on the surface of the earth, fibrous, something which needed digestion, which couldn't be absorbed directly by the body anymore, but which needed to be digested to give up its nutrition to the ones that ate it. Because the ones which were able to survive needed to survive by having some sort of digestive apparatus in their body, i.e. intestines or whatever you'd like to call them, the ones to be able to survive started to need to have a digestive tract. And with a digestive tract came the gender features of those beings as well. Because if you have a digestive tract, then you need to have gender features too. And it turned out that not all the beings were the same. Because some beings in their past had been less strict in keeping the third precept, the gender features which they gained when the digestive tract developed was female. As for those who had been stricter in their following of the third precept, then the gender features which they developed were male ones. So there were now different sorts of beings in that community, ones which had a male features and ones which had female features. Normally you would think that the ones which had female features would be shunned by the others in society. But in fact this was not the case, and there were some in society which were actually attracted to by the differences between the genders. And some of them started to mess around with those of the other gender. And in a society which previously had valued the practice of celibacy, this was seen as shameful behavior. Those beings had to find a place to hide themselves away to do their dirty deeds together. And when they couldn't find somewhere where they could do that in privacy, then they started to build homes in order to have the privacy to have sexual relations between the two genders. There is a tradition in the present day for weddings where confetti or rice is thrown upon the newlywed couple. And in this particular sutta, it says that that tradition is in fact much more ancient than we might ever have guessed, because it wasn't confetti or rice which was thrown over the couple in those ancient times, but rather it was clods of earth and sticks which was thrown at the couple to chase them out of the community, to banish them from that community. So this has an origin, you see, with the traditions of the present time. So they had houses, and when you had a house, then you could no longer have a nomadic existence anymore. You were fixed to a particular piece of land, a particular piece of territory, and no longer being able to keep the 8 precepts anymore, they settled on the lower set of precepts of merely 5. So in those days, husband and wife would have been faithful to one another, and they would have survived off the land which would have been in their own territory of their own house. Normally, a family would be able to survive off the food available in that particular territory. But because the level of precepts of the people in that society had diminished from 8 now down to 5, environment changed accordingly. The amount of the quality of the staple food available was changed. So it no longer was the creepers which had managed to provide all the food, but now it was a sort of rice. But rice in those days, like the people of those days, was huge grains. Someone once showed me the grains of rice available in that day and age, and there are grains of rice like this, not like microscopic ones, but grains of rice like this. And there were grains of rice which, if you picked them, by the next morning there would be a new grain of rice in its place, with no scar to show where the old one had been. And in those days, people had a fairly sort of unstressful way of life. Each day, however much they needed to eat, then they go out and pick it. They pick it day by day. They keep only enough for that particular day's worth of food. But later, there started to be smart people in society who got the idea that if they went out and collected enough for 2 days, then they could hoard it and they could just lie around and rest for a day instead of earning their living day by day. So there started to be the impurities of laziness in the minds of these people. And when that happened, then the quality of the food diminished yet further to be now a sort of rice which had a husk to it, where if you broke it off the stem, there would be a scar left, and you wouldn't be sure whether day by day there would be new rice growing up to replenish the old. Until eventually, the level of morality in society broke down yet further, and there were dishonest types starting to grow up in society, whereby to get rice from their own territory was no longer enough for them anymore. They would be sneaking over the boundaries into their neighbor's garden, stealing rice from there, and when they were caught red-handed, they would protest that they didn't do it. So they're actually telling lies now as well. So you can see that from the original beings, like the one in the photograph, which were able to be strict according to their 8 precepts, the morality in society gradually diminished to a point where 5 precepts was kept, and then to a point where not even 5 precepts was the standard for society anymore. And they had to come to a point where they had to elect a personage in society who had the job of judging people who were seen to have broken with the laws of that society. And that first king was called the Mahasamatha, or basically the one who has been elected to make decisions on behalf of the community. Okay? So we see a gradual downturn in the quality of life of beings from very high-minded, ethereal minds depending on the joy of meditation, degrading down with the environment to those who are very much like the human beings in the present day and age, who can't even manage to keep the 5 precepts properly. Yeah.
This is where the gluttony and lust that caused breaking of the precepts, like gluttony, and laziness.
All of these things. So what is the operant thing changing the destiny of human society? It's not some eye in the sky, it's not some guy with a beard sitting on a cloud somewhere, but it's the very actions of the people in the society which changes the environment, changes the way of life, changes the staple food available to the people there, and basically affects the whole happiness of people in society as a whole. So there's no need for anything outside of this system to be brought in to explain why these changes are happening. In fact, we are looking at a vignette of society which comes from a long time ago. It comes from a time so long ago that we're talking about the same sort of length of time as the Earth is old, okay?
His teaching on Akanya Sutta answered the life's question, the origin of man.
Yes, including the increasing number of human beings on earth, and it also tells us to practice moral conducts in order to help purify our minds.
And also, pure mind is corresponding to clean environment. Mind contaminated with defilements causes environment to be polluted in the same manner.
Listening to Dhamma talks is a wise thing to do, as it prevents us from living our life recklessly, I think.
Yeah. When we are mindful of our every action, there is no need to worry about the future.
That's right. Now let's move on to our special scoop on the monk ordination, which I think our Buddhist viewers will be moved. Even for the non-Buddhists, will find it interesting.
The Buddhist ordination, when a man becomes a monk, is required by Buddhist belief and represents the most important chapter in every man's life. A man should ordain after reaching the age of 20, before getting married or after graduating. The best time to ordain is the 3-month Buddhist Lent season, around August to October. But to comply with the needs of a modern world, a man can ordain for only 1 week, 15 days, or a month. This depends on how work and other considerations limit his time. But the person who ordains must leave the monastic order before the first day of Buddhist Lent. Otherwise, he must remain a monk until the end of the Lenten period. As a monk, he will learn the true needs of life, and he will learn how to take care of himself and stand with confidence. In particular, he will learn how to survive contentedly in his daily life with limited resources. And most importantly, he will learn the nature of existence and the impacts and interactions of good and bad actions. He will learn how to be a sanctified being and the patterns of trouble and happiness that typify people's lives. Yes, he will know how to earn happiness while journeying with kindness and understanding through the ebb and flow of existence. Buddhist beliefs are rooted in reality and wisdom. To be an enduring man of real leadership is to always understand the true nature of existence and to have one's mind in a safe refuge. Buddhism brings to light the mystery of man's great journey through life. Once in a lifetime, but forever with his breath, Buddhism has taught him to treasure his life and to make his life a treasure.
The reason we offer our viewers this special scoop is because the International Dhammadayana ordination is coming up on the 5th of July. Anyone who wishes to experience the Buddhist philosophical life filled with peace can have a chance to prepare himself in advance.
Yeah. In truth, you do not need to commit yourself to Buddhist religion or to be ordained like a Buddhist monk. The most important is to be an open-minded person who willing to experience a peaceful way of life Buddhism provides to a true seekers.
Yes. We invite you to come and experience it for yourself. But for now, it's time to say goodbye for today.
Yeah.
Please feel free to send your comments or questions to our web address at www.meditationforpeace.info.
So we hope to see you next week.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ